Hi Aries, this is your September and October horoscope with me, Lada from Lada, for everyone who have their sun and especially their ascendant in Aries, their rising sign, which is the most personal and usually gives the best predictions. So what is the influence in September, October? Actually, September flows into October. That's why I combine them together. There are a few important trends that start. The first one is that Mercury, the planet, the manager, the planet which wants you to, put things in order better, will be in your 7th house starting from September, then continuing in October, and almost till the middle of November. It's a whole process that takes about 2.5 months, the whole of September, October, November. And Mercury will get retrograde in your 7th house. And this doesn't happen often. Sometimes it might be quite a few years before this thing appears again, before this celestial configuration repeats itself again. And what does it mean? Well, when Mercury goes retrograde and it stays so long, for 2.5 months in your 7th house, it means that during this period you start some processes like negotiations, people who are in business, people who are dealing with clients on one-to-one relationship, people who give services, who exchange one service for another, people who are very much involved in one-to-one communications with another or work with another, or teaming or partnering, will have a very intense 2.5 months. Some of you might be signing contracts with other people, some of you might be receiving more clients, more intense negotiations centered with you and another business partner or another person. Or if it's not in regards to business, you also, signing documents, signing agreements between you and another side, or you and other partners as well. Or it might come into your personal life. 7th house rules relationships and one-to-one marriage, long-term partnerships. So there might be a period of intense communication that is needed, something to be agreed between you and your partner, long conversations, important conversations. This whole process will continue, you'll see the final results of it around November, but the whole process starts of intensified communications with another person, one-to-one, partner, business. Maybe signing of some documents starts from September. Then October, it might need more attention in October, because in October the planets get retrograde, which means like you need to put your best efforts there, and things might stall for a little bit. They might get a little bit slow down the process of documents, of signing, of negotiations in some way. But afterwards, they are working with clients, business deals as well. It's very business influence as well, communication. But after that, in November, things start moving again positively, and you start seeing the results of this hard work you put in September and especially in October. The other important trend that is happening is that, there are quite a few things, but for instance, in September, Venus is in your 6th sign, Aries. It's in your 6th house. And whatever Venus is, this is where things become a bit easier. This is where we get some kind of joy and comfort. And 6th house is the house of work, of duties. So quite a few Aries will feel, they'll get some satisfaction, fulfillment by putting more efforts into detailed work, working behind the scenes, improving themselves. 6th house is also daily routines and health regimes. So improving your daily routines and health regimes might come easier to you, might flow more easily to you. And it's a very quick influence, so it is not necessarily going to change your, health habits forever. It's very gentle, so you have to take advantage of it. But if you, for instance, if you want to stop some bad habit, if you want to maybe start working out, to eat a bit better, Venus in your 6th house can make it a little bit more easier. Still, you need to show some willpower, of course, but Venus will facilitate this. And you'll feel joy and fulfillment, you'll feel like pride. For having, fulfilled your duties, giving service, working harder, 6th house, improving on your regimes, on your work routines, or your daily health routines as well, or your daily routines, whatever they are, like maybe waking up earlier and things like that. This can be a source of comfort and joy for you, and more fulfillment. So it's good time to focus on those things. And then in October, Venus moves in your 7th house, because this is where 7th house is relationships, as we talked. And Mercury is there already. Remember, Mercury gives some important communications, business there. And when Venus in October comes into your 7th house, it becomes a much more positive period for relationships. There can be improvement of your relationships. If something was tough and difficult in your love relationships or partnerships, business partnerships, Venus can help ease it off. Venus can bring some positive developments there, so you can even help with those negotiations and those business deals or signing of contracts or documents that are happening at the same time with another person, negotiation. And Venus also in the 7th is quite romantic. People can fall in love during this influence. Venus goes in your 7th house every year, you know, so it's not something that totally changes your love relationship, but it will improve in relationship. It will give you a few good dates, or maybe more interest from more attractive people around you, a bit more popularity with others, and you have two benefics like Mercury and Venus in the same time in October in your 7th house. So relationships can improve through communication, through more affection with each other. Venus is affection, through socializing, through having good time, through being more intimate physically as well, because Venus is sensual planet. Maybe going on a few good dates as well. And those of you who are single have a better chance of meeting someone or being in the company of younger Mercury. Mercury is younger people, more interesting, more people who have better communications, and Venus is attractive, harmonious, pleasing. And when there are two benefics in the 7th house, always relationships go more smoothly. There are more positive developments. A good time for getting married. If you're Aries ascendant, for example, for signing contracts or for being in the company of others, others can bring you positive experiences more. Towards the end of September, the last 10 days of September, there is like a very positive aspect happening in the sky, which is very rare. It happens once every 5-6 years, I guess. And it's the first out of 3 hits which continue till next summer, 2015. And the first one happens the last 10 days of September, which is Jupiter is trine Uranus. And Jupiter is the planet of luck, and Uranus is the planet of sudden, sudden positive developments when it aspects Jupiter in a positive way. So basically around the last 10 days of September, there can be like a sudden luck or something fortunate coming to you because it's happening in your sign Aries and in the sign Leo. So there might be something very positive all of a sudden, like improved luck, or even playing the lotto. It might be a good idea, if you have it naturally given in your horoscope to win the lotto, this can trigger it. You can have more luck, you can feel more positive, you can, some windfall can come to you. And it's affecting very strongly your 5th house, which is children. Something positive, unexpected can come to you in regards to children in the last 10 days of September, in regards to creative projects, in regard to romantic endeavors as well, because the 5th house rules matters of the heart, flirting, dating, romance, romantic partners, and people that are very close to you that you love dearly, like children, like lovers. These are the 5th house people that open up your heart chakra. So some positive developments in regards to this, or some creative outpouring that can happen, or the green light that happens in the creative project of yours. And if you're in your own personal business, even if it's not creative business, you need to use your creative energy. So the last 10 days of September can be quite positive for this. And then in October comes the season of eclipses. So big changes. October eclipses. The first eclipse is around the 8th of October, which happens at 15 degrees of Aries. This means that who will be affected? Anyone who has a moon or ascendant in Aries from around 10 to around 20 degrees, especially around the 15 degree, they will feel this eclipse a lot, this lunar eclipse in Aries. For those of you who are born, just a second, bear with me, from around the 1st of April to around the 9th of April, approximately 1st till 9th of April, the eclipse is falling on the sun. So big changes. This means that the month before the eclipse, the month after the lunar eclipse in October, so September, October, November, it can be especially, the week before the eclipse, so the first 10 days of October can be quite intense period. And eclipses are a time of something coming to fruition or something ending, and we're letting go of it, because a lunar eclipse is when the moon is full but it's eclipsed, and it means that something has played out its role in our life, and we all of a sudden become aware that something cannot continue in this way, or that something gives its result at this time, and we can let go of it. The lunar eclipse can bring some detachment some detachment in important matters in your life. And because it falls in Aries, it falls in your sign, so it can be any area of your life, like career. Maybe a career project gives its fruits and gives its results now, and it's time to let go of it, or you all of a sudden become intensely aware of feelings. The lunar eclipse is especially connected to relationships, how you relate to others, and something to do with very intense emotions coming to the surface, you experiencing them and letting them go, becoming aware of those very intense emotions and letting them all go after that. Something coming to its full potential, and or all of a sudden you realize that something is way overdue in your life, so you end it, you conclude it, you detach yourself from it. But initially, the month preceding the eclipse can, for many Aries, can feel like a tense period, like something is about to break down, something is about to change. And change is not necessarily a bad thing, you know. Many people have been stuck in situations that are a long time overdue to get out of their life for a long time, and they just need a little cosmic push, which will come with the eclipse. But it's always recommended that you do not take the decision exactly or start the action on the day of the eclipse. Wait a week till the emotions settle down a bit. So after that you can, you know, start taking the steps, because you might be a little bit too emotional around the time of the eclipse. And after that there is like a sense of detachment that when the eclipse finishes, like a sense of it's done, you know, I've become aware of something and I'm willing to let it go. So oftentimes big changes because something has reached its full potential and it's time for it to let go. And often it's preceded by some crisis. This is what eclipses tend to do. So Aries, big time for you, you know. And then in the last days of October there is another eclipse, a solar eclipse, which happens, you know, which people born in the last days of Aries are going to feel, you know, those who have their ascendant or their moon in around from around 25 degrees to 30 degrees in Aries, or those of you who are born, I'd say, from the 16th till the 20th of April, you know, the last 5 days of Aries, they're having sun there. Solar eclipse happening in your 7th house, like big changes. Solar eclipses, new beginnings. Basically, they get rid of something old and they make place for new beginnings. So there might be new beginnings in regards to relationships in particular, because the solar eclipse is happening in your 7th house, very close to your 7th house of relationships with others, one-to-one relationships, something changing, something. It might be even a critical situation for a little bit, but you're rethinking your role, the role that you play in important relationships in your life, because it's happening in the 7th house. And you're rethinking your role. It might be even rethinking career role or some other important role in your life, and maybe making place for something new there, because solar eclipse is the start of something new. But there is definitely focus on other people, 7th house relationships matters. And another important thing that is happening in October, and actually in September and October, is that Mars will be supporting Aries. Mars goes in Sagittarius from the middle of September till the end of October. So for a month and a half, Mars is the energy which gives us initiative, which gives us more get up and go energy. And it's going to be in a very supportive sign for Aries. It's going to be in Sagittarius. So people will feel much more like fighting for what they believe, like applying their plans, their long-term plans, and getting down to work, getting, you know, getting things moving, starting things. And Mars, when it's in a fire sign, it very much supports Aries. It very much gives more energy, more enthusiasm, more daredevil attitude to Aries. Not that they need it usually, but, you know, gives them more, makes them more productive as well, makes them go and get the job done if they haven't had energy till now. And also because Mars will be in your 9th house, Aries, this is the house of beliefs, and you might be like fighting for your beliefs and your long-term goals and the plans that you see for yourself, the bigger picture. And you might be like, okay, I want to fight for this and I'm going to go after it. And it's auspicious, to be honest. But there might be some power struggles with paternal figures or mentor figures, like teachers or people with very strong opinions, because Mars, you know, ninth house rules everyone who has some different belief system than yours, the belief system. So there might be some power struggles from September and the part of October with belief system, what you believe is right and what you have to do. But usually Mars supports you to go and do the things that you want to do. So, and I want to mention some specific days for Aries. Those of you who are born, basically Jupiter will be from 10 degrees till 20 degrees in, will support those who have their moon or their sun from 10 till 20 degrees in September and October in Aries. Or those Aries who are born from, were born from around the 1st or even 31st of March till around the 10th of April. So they will be supported by the sun, by Jupiter. Even though there is an eclipse on those degrees, you know, remember from that I mentioned, people born from around the 1st till the 9th, there is eclipse on their degrees, some big changes happening in their life. But at the same time, Jupiter, because Jupiter is helping exactly those degrees in September and October, will make sure that whatever changes in your life, it's replaced by something bigger, better, something that makes you happier, that makes you more fulfilled. The eclipse might take something away from your life and make place for big changes, but Jupiter, because Jupiter aspects those same degrees in September and October where the eclipse is falling, Jupiter makes sure that it will bring you something new, which is bigger, better, and will make the process of change from the eclipse much easier. Whatever changes come to your life will be positive, so you embrace them, welcome them at that time. There might be like a career improvement or new opportunity in love, relationship. It can be in any area of life, personal life as well, you know. New opportunities to study, to travel, new horizons opening up. But something old will be going away as well, you know, because of this lunar eclipse happening around those degrees. So this is what I see for Aries. Thank you very much. I hope I was able to give you a clear idea, or at least approximately clear idea of what's in September and October. Thank you.